Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. And in this video, I'm going to talk about people who think $50 or $100 of life insurance is expensive or it's not affordable for them and what it can cause in their future. Are they going to have issues later on? Are they going to have problems when something happens? We're going to discuss all this. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel and like the button and share. And if you have any comments or if you have any information or if you have any questions, please do it in the comments, DM us. And if you want us to make a certain video on a topic, please let us know and we'll make it up for you. Now, with that said, let's get into it. Now, if a client, we go to a lot of clients, and I'm sure that you guys will have the same situation. If you don't have life insurance because you think you cannot afford it, it's one of the worst things you can do for your family at that point. Because when somebody tells me that I cannot afford life insurance and it's too expensive, what the first thing comes to my mind is that this person is in big trouble. Not only financially, but also a big trouble when it comes to their family life, to their family legacy, to their kids' education, to the debt they're going to have right after they pass away. Now, for example, if you cannot afford $50, how would you be able to take care? Let's say, not you, but how will your family be able to be taken care of if something happens to you? If you cannot afford $50 or $60 or $100, then how is your family going to be when you're not here? A lot of times when you ask that question to individuals, they get stuck. They don't know what to answer, how to react. What will be your answer if you do not have coverage? And if you're not protecting your family, what is your family going to do if you can't afford it? If your excuse is that, hey, Sarkis, I cannot afford this coverage because it's even $20. It's a stretch for me. This is what I can't do. It's another bill for me. But you got to understand that everything else that you buy or purchase or lease or the cars that you drive, the gas that you put in, those things do not pay for itself. Everything is paid by you. If you own a house and you're the breadwinner, your wife doesn't work or your husband doesn't work, or for example, if you have a disabled father or a son or a husband or a wife, who's going to take care of those people as well? Is you. If you're not around, who's going to do it for them? Are they going to be on the streets? And a lot of times, this is what happens is that individuals thinking that life insurance is too expensive. We don't need this. Oh, it's going to be only for my death. But today, in this age, in the 21st century, they're called living benefits, which can not only help you when you're living, but also can help you when you're not here. So when you pass to the next world, then your family is taken care of. But if something happens to you, you don't have to sell any of your goods, any of your homes, any of your properties, and investments, liquidation of things for you to be taken care of because you have to pay for your medical bills. If something happens to you, chronic, terminal, critical injuries, Alzheimer's, and so on and so forth, there's so many riders today that you can take advantage when you're alive. And, of course, with pennies on the dollar. $50, you're paying for something that's $100,000, or $50, you can get $1 million. Protecting your family has to be the priority. When I sit down with clients, the first thing I do, and I say this thing to them, say, listen, the first thing that every month that you wake up, every month, the first of the month, the most important thing that you should be worried about paying is your life insurance. The reason being so is because the life insurance is going to protect your family. If you go to work, the first thing you pay is your rent, right? This, that, your car payments, your, let's say, for example, your phone bills, your, subscriptions to 50 other streaming things. Guess what happens if you're not there that day or if you're no longer here? How is your family going to be able to afford it? Because now you're not able to go to work. They just lost you. Now you costed them money. Now you're more burden. If you don't have insurance, You're not only a big burden on your family while you're alive, but you're a big burden when you're not here. Because your family is going to suffer. Your family is going to be destroyed if you have no insurance. I've seen so many times that they wanted to get something and then they didn't and they couldn't, and they thought they will never get sick, and then all of a sudden something happens and they're like, wow, I should have got insurance, And this is why it's so important for you guys to get it. It doesn't matter if we get it from us. It doesn't matter if we get it somewhere else. But the most important thing is to get something. When individuals tell me, what's the right way to go? What's the right insurance to have? Do I have the right one? Did I get screwed when I purchased? I said no. Because it's better to have a bad policy rather than have nothing. Because if you have nothing, you have zero. If you have a bad policy, you might get 100,000, 50,000. Now you could have maybe gotten 500,000 or 300,000. But even that 25,000, 30,000 or 100,000 or 200,000, at the time of your passing, it relieves your burden from your family. Because now they don't have to they don't have to lose the house. They don't have to lose the cars. Your kids don't have to get out of college. They don't have to work the second job. Your wife doesn't have to get 10 jobs to make ends meet if you have young kids. All this can be avoidable by just simply affording to pay yourself first, and you're taking care of your family is the number one priority every month. The key is paying yourself first rather than everybody else. Because at the end of the day, the bank, the car payment institution, and the mortgage company is not going to come and save you. On the contrary, if you don't pay it 1 month, 2 months, they're going to come and kick you out. You're not going to be able to obtain those goods anyways. So it's very important. So when you don't have, if you tell yourself even, I cannot afford insurance, that's the reason why you should be buying insurance. Because insurance is so affordable. It's stupid not to have it. And that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you're following. If you have any assistance, let us know. And we'll be more than happy to give you guides, and all the information that you need to make an intelligent decision. And you don't have to buy it from us. We're here to generally give you guys information. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you. See you guys on the next video.